Okay, let's bring in the chairman of the Fiscal Responsibility Commission, Victor Muruako, and he's live here. You know, sometimes you ask yourself how we got here. Once upon a time, grassroots governance was the main thing, to the extent that the council was so powerful within our communities. Help us make sense, perhaps by starting to talk about the Fiscal Responsibility Act and how beautiful its implementation or practical implementation will make for grassroots development.
Well, thank you for having me here. For us at Fiscal Responsibility Commission, fiscal responsibility issues are the foundation of every governance issue we're talking about in this country, be it at the national, state, or local government. Even in our fiscal life, the national budget, the foundation is Fiscal Responsibility Act, the preparations, the MTAV, the MTSS, the FSP. So if we can get it right at the level of the foundation, we would have laid a solid one that we can build upon. Now, talking about subnationals, because it's one economy for our nation. There's no different economy for states and local government. Even with the fiscal federalism we operate, it's still one economy. Whatever happens at the state and local government affects the national economy. So we are very happy that finally the issue of financial autonomy of the local council have been resolved by the Supreme Court. We're also conscious of the efforts of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to bring that into action. He has set up a committee that is working. But we also feel, as a commission, as an agency of the government, to do our own. We have initiated efforts to sensitize the subnationals, particularly the states and local government. There is need for this partnership. The local government actually cannot go it alone, particularly with where they found themselves for some years now. I recall with great nostalgic feelings what local government used to be in those days. It used to be a center point of development in this country. If you just take your mind back what local government used to be, how many people could come to government houses at the state level? But now you hardly find people at local governments. It leaves a lot. So for us, we believe that we have a responsibility. With that landmark judgment of the Supreme Court and with the efforts of Mr. President, we believe that we have to start engagement with the upcoming financial autonomy of the local governments in Nigeria. You have to prepare them, because over the years there have been a lot of gaps, human capacity gaps. Today, you ask yourself, how many local governments take time to prepare their budgets?
And that's a very good place.
How many local governments think about budget implementation report? How many local governments think about annual audited financial statement? I'm telling you, I can beat my chest to it. Out of 774 local, you may not find up to 3 to 5% that still do that. Even where they do it, what are they doing? So there's a serious governance issue to chase vis-a-vis the financial autonomy of the local government.
So how does your commission, the Fiscal Responsibility Commission, come in here? Because apparently it looks like the focus here is local government. And when you say the Supreme Court has settled that matter, it doesn't look like it, because the state governors are looking for ways to circumvent the Supreme Court judgment on financial autonomy. What is your commission doing to, you know, at the subnational level to ensure fiscal discipline, you know, responsibility, even corruption? That's, I want to believe it's a part of your mandate to check excesses, you know, in the system. Should the states also have fiscal responsibility commissions? Could that be a way?
Precisely, we are working with states. It's an engagement, it's partnership, it's collaboration. Today, we had a sensitization program that concludes the 6 zonal efforts of our commission to engage the stakeholders. By the stakeholders at subnational levels, I mean commissioners of finance, commissioners of planning, budget, Accountant Generals of States, Auditor Generals of States, chairmen and members of fiscal responsibility agencies of the various states. Like today, we had all the 6 North Central states, including Abuja, represented. Key actors were there. In some cases, we also had the Auditor General of Local Government.
In terms of, I mean, specific terms?
Very clear. You cannot do a lot at the local government level without the state. It must be a partnership. We must work together. The first thing to do is to reach out to the state government, who have the certain level of authority to supervise the local government affairs. You have to engage them. It has to be seamless. You don't have to confront. We must work together. You reach out first, like out of the 36 states of the Federation and Abuja, we have fiscal responsibility laws in 22 states. Out of these states, about 16 have established their own state fiscal responsibility agencies. Even those that have established, we are still urging them and nudging them to have a strong, to strengthen them. Time will come when we go beyond states and start getting into local government. We are preparing that. It's a must. We must get there because the foundation of fighting corruption. When you talk about fiscal responsibility, you're talking about preventing corruption, which is cheapest.
And are you working with the NOA on this? Because again, it will start with some kind of cultural reorientation. Because before now, the idea for some is our turn. To dip our hands in the till. So now, are you working with NOA?
We're collaborating with every stakeholder. It's a stakeholders program. And a good number of them were here today, just like we're in the Northeast, we're in the Northwest in Kano, in the Northeast we're in Yola, Adamawa State. Yes. In the South, we're in Port Harcourt. In the Southeast, last month, we're in Owerri. In the Southwest, we're in Lagos. We're wrapping it up, and we're scheduling a lot of follow-up
How is the engagement
action.
going?
Wonderful, beautiful. A lot of citizens engagement. Citizens are interested. Even the state government are interested. There are a lot of very positive responses. You see, I believe that you have to engage, and we'll get there. You don't have to assume that nothing is resolved. We will resolve it.
We'll have to go. Victor Muruako is Chairman, Fiscal Responsibility Commission. There's so much to actually talk about, but not enough time. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsline.